Hello dear students, welcome back to the biology online class. This video is the continuation of our previous chapter, that is plant kingdom. So in the previous class we learnt about the classification of algae, right? So under algae it includes three classes: class Chlorophyceae, class Phaeophyceae and class Rhodophyceae. Coming to the first class, that is class Chlorophyceae, here the members are commonly called as green algae. So the members of class Chlorophyceae are commonly called as green algae. Coming to the characters, the members may be unicellular, colonial or filamentous. So colonial means they are found in colony. Filamentous means here the cells are arranged one above the other to form a chain like structure. So if the thallus of the algae is chain like, then the nature is called as filamentous. Is that clear? So the members may be unicellular, colonial or filamentous. The second character is usually they are grass green color due to the presence of pigment chlorophyll A and B in their chloroplast. The chloroplast may be discoid, plate-like, reticulate, cup-shaped, spiral or ribbon-shaped in different species. So here the main pigments are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Because of these pigments, they are grass green in color, and the shape of the chloroplast may be discoid or plate-like, reticulate, etc. Most of them have one or more pyrenoids located in the chloroplast. Now, what do you mean by pyrenoids? Pyrenoid is nothing but it is a starch storage organ. Okay, so pyrenoid is a starch storage organ. It is located within the chloroplast, right? So here in Chlorophyceae, the food is stored in the form of starch, right? So extra amount of food is stored in the form of starch, and this starch content is stored in the pyrenoid. So pyrenoid is referred as starch storage organ. Am I clear? So the first character is the thallus may be unicellular, they may be colonial or filamentous, and the members are grass green in color due to the presence of chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B pigments, and the shape of the chloroplast may be different in different species, and most of the Chlorophycean members have one or more pyrenoids. This pyrenoid is nothing but a starch storage organ which is located within the chloroplast, right? But some algae store food as oil droplets. Majority of the algal members store food in the form of starch. But some of the algal members also store food as oil droplets. Okay. And outer to the cell, these Chlorophycean member possess the cell wall, which is the external covering layer, and this cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectose. So the cell wall composition in Chlorophyceae is cellulose and pectin or pectose. Understood? Coming to the reproduction part, here vegetative reproduction, it takes place by fragmentation. So what do you mean by fragmentation? Fragmentation means during the time of reproduction, due to some reasons, the thallus of algae breaks into several pieces, and the process of formation of fragments is called as fragmentation. Understood? So here the vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation or by the formation of different types of spores, whereas asexual reproduction, it takes place by flagellated zoospores. Okay, asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of zoospores, and these zoospores contain flagella and are produced within the zoosporangia. And sexual reproduction, it takes place by the fusion of male and female gametes, and the type of sexual reproduction may be isogamous, anisogamous, or oogamous type. So what do you mean by isogamous type? So here both the male and the female gametes are morphologically similar. They are similar in size. Whereas in anisogamous, the gametes are dissimilar in size. And in oogamous, the female gamete is large and non-motile, whereas the male gamete is smaller and motile. Understood? So, and examples for chlorophycin members are Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, and Cara. So this is the image of Chlamydomonas, and this is Volvox. So Chlamydomonas is unicellular, whereas Volvox found in colony, and this is Cara plant, and this is Spirogyra and Ulothrix. So these are the some common examples of class Chlorophyceae. Am I clear? So the class Chlorophyceae members, here the thallus may be unicellular, colonial, or filamentous. They are grass green color due to the presence of pigments chlorophyll A and B, and the shape of the chloroplast may be different in different species, and this chloroplast contain starch storage organ which is called as pyrenoid. Okay, and about the reproduction, here vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, and asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of zoospores, and sexual reproduction by the fusion of male and female gametes. And under sexual reproduction there are three types: isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous type. Is that clear? So these are about the general characters and examples of class Chlorophyceae. Right? Okay, we'll move on to the next class then, class Phaeophyceae. So here the members of class Phaeophyceae, they are commonly called as brown algae, and the characters are as follows. They are mostly found in marine habitats. Majority of the brown algal members are found in marine habitat, and they show great variation in size and form. That means the size may ranges from simple branched filamentous forms to profusely branched forms. So here the size of the brown algal members may range from simple branched filamentous forms to profusely branched forms. Example for simple branched filamentous form, Ectocarpus, and profusely branched form, Kelps. And they have chlorophyll A, C, carotenoids, and xanthophyll pigments. So whereas in the class Chlorophyceae, the main pigments are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Whereas in Phaeophyceae, the members contain chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotenoids, and xanthophyll pigments. Okay. They vary in color from olive green to brown depending upon the amount of xanthophyll pigments, that is fucoxanthin. So name of the pigment is here fucoxanthin. So depending upon the amount of this fucoxanthin pigment, the color of the brown algal members may vary from olive green to brown. And here food is stored in the form of mannitol, or it is also called as laminarin, whereas in Chlorophyceae, in majority of the members, the food is stored in the form of starch. It's a simple carbohydrate. Whereas in Phaeophyceae, the food is stored in the form of mannitol or laminarin. It is a complex carbohydrate. Okay, and just like in chlorophyceae, here also the pheophycean algal member possess external covering layer which is called as cell wall, and this cell wall is made up of cellulose and a gelatinous coating of algin, whereas in chlorophyceae the cell contains cellulose as well as pectin, right? But in pheophyceae, along with the cellulose, here pectin is absent, coating of algin is present. So this gelatinous algin coating is present outside the cellulosic wall. Understood? And the protoplast contain plastids, central vacuole and nucleus. Here the plant body is attached to the substratum by a holdfast and has a stalk which is called as stipe and a leaf like photosynthetic organ called frond. Okay, here true root, leaf and stem regions are entirely absent. So the plant body is attached to the substratum with the help of root like structure. It is called as holdfast. Okay, so here the root like structure is called as holdfast and the stem like structure is called as a stipe, whereas the leaf like structure, it is a photosynthetic organ, it is called as frond. And about the reproduction, here also vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, and asexual reproduction, it takes place by the formation of zoospores, and here also the zoospores are motile. And sexual reproduction by the fusion of male and female gametes, and the type of sexual reproduction may be of isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous types. Understood? So these are about the characters of class Pheophyceae or brown algae. Okay, they are mainly found in marine habitats. So here they contain pigments like chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotenoids and xanthophyll, and depending upon the amount of pigment they vary in color. And here the food is stored in the form of laminarin or mannitol and they possess a root like structure holdfast, stem like structure stipe and leaf like structure called frond. And reproduction by three methods: vegetative method, asexual method and sexual methods. Vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of zoospores, and sexual reproduction by the fusion of male and female gametes. Now coming to the examples: Ectocarpus, Dictyota, Laminaria and Sargassum. These are some of the examples of class Pheophyceae. So in this picture, so this first picture is the image of Ectocarpus. So this is Dictyota, Laminaria and Sargassum. Understood? Okay, we'll move on to the next class, that is class Rhodophyceae. Here the members are commonly called as red algae and they have red thalli. Thalli or thallus means plant body. So Rhodophycean members have red thalli due to the presence of red pigment, that is R-phycoerythrin. So here the main pigment is R-phycoerythrin. It is a red pigment. And majority of the Rhodophycean members are marine, especially found in warmer areas, and most of them are multicellular and some have complex body organization. And food is here stored in the form of Floridian starch. It is also a form of complex carbohydrate. Okay. And the vegetative reproduction here takes place by fragmentation, and asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of non-motile spores. Okay. And sexual reproduction takes place by the fusion of gametes, and here the type of reproduction is oogamous. Understood? So the red algal members, they are mainly found in marine habitats. They have a red pigment, that is R phycoerythrin, and they are multicellular in nature. Okay, they store food in the form of Floridian starch. It is a form of complex carbohydrate. And about the reproduction, they reproduces by three methods: vegetative method, asexual method, and sexual method. Vegetative reproduction here also takes place by the fragmentation method, and vegetative reproduction takes place by the fragmentation method. Asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of non-motile spores, and sexual reproduction takes place by the fusion of gametes. And here the type of sexual reproduction is oogamous. Oogamous means here it contains a large female gamete which is non-motile and smaller male gamete which is motile. And examples for red algal members are Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria, and Gelidium. Okay, so this is Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria, and Gelidium. Okay, these are the examples of class Rhodophyceae, red algae. Understood? Okay, coming to the next group of plant kingdom, that is bryophytes. Coming to the characters, the bryophytes are commonly called as amphibians of plant kingdom. So why they are referred as amphibians of plant kingdom? Because for the process of fertilization, these members require water. So bryophytes are mainly found in land. Okay, they are land plants. But for the act of fertilization, for the for the movement of gametes, they require water. Hence, they are called as amphibians of plant kingdom. They occur in damp, humid, and shaded localities, found in moisture and shaded areas. Body is more differentiated than that of algae, and it is thallus-like, means in bryophytes also the plant body is called as thallus, and this thallus may be prostrate or erect. Prostrate means horizontal. Okay, so the thallus of bryophyte may be, it is prostrate means horizontal, or flat, or erect means straight, and they are attached to the substratum with the help of rhizoids. So here also true roots, stems, and leaves are absent. So instead of roots, they possess rhizoids. So the thallus is attached to the substratum with the help of rhizoids, and the rhizoids may be unicellular or multicellular. They lack true roots, stems, or leaves, and they may possess root-like, leaf-like, or stem-like structures. Okay, the main plant body is haploid. That means it produces gametes. So the dominant phase is here, gametes producing phase. Hence the plant body is called as a gametophyte. And the sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular. The male sex organ is called as antheridium, which produces biflagellate antherozooids. So in bryophytes, the male sex organ is called as antheridium, right? And this antheridium produces the sperms. So the sperms are also called as antherozooids. So antherozooids are nothing but the sperms which possess two flagella, and the female sex organ is called as archegonium, which produces a single egg. So during fertilization, an antherozooid fuses with the egg to form the zygote. So during fertilization, what happens is antherozoid or the sperm, it fuses with the egg cell to form the zygote, and this zygote produces a multicellular body called the sporophyte, and the cells of the sporophyte undergoes meiosis to form the haploid spores, and these spores on germination produces the gametophyte. In this way the life cycle takes place. Okay, and examples for bryophytes are Rixia, Marcantia, Funaria, Anthoceros. So these are the pictures of Rixia. So this is Rixia, Marcantia, Funaria, and Anthoceros. So these are about the general characters and examples of group bryophytes. So they are mainly referred as amphibians of plant kingdom, and they are found in moist, damp and shady places, and they are multicellular, and the plant body is here haploid gametophyte. That means here gamete producing phase is dominant, so that the gametophyte contains the sex organs. The male sex organ is called as antheridium, which produces the biflagellated sperms, and the female sex organ is called as archegonium, which produces a single egg. During fertilization, this antherzoid fuses with the egg cell to form the zygote. The zygote later on produces the multicellular sporophyte. The cells of the sporophyte on meiosis produces haploid spores, and these spores on germination produces the gametophytic plant body. Understood? So these are about the general characters. Coming to the importance of bryophytes, some mosses provide food for herbaceous mammals, birds, etc. So here some of the bryophyte members are used as food for herbaceous mammals or birds. Okay, the bryophyte members are used as a source of food. And species of sphagnum, it is a type of moss. So sphagnum moss, this provide peat, and this peat is used as fuel. And what do you mean by peat? So peat formation is the result of incomplete decomposition of the remains of plants growing in waterlogged conditions. Okay, and as a result, partially decomposed plant remains accumulate and become compacted, forming the peat. So once again I'll repeat, peat means it is the result of incomplete decomposition of the remains of plants growing in waterlogged conditions. So as a result, what happens? Partially decomposed plant remains accumulate and become compacted, forming the peat. Understood? And this peat is used as a fuel, and it also has a water holding capacity, so that it is used as packing material for transshipment of living materials. That means this peat moss, it is used in long distance transport of fruits and vegetables, which prevents from moisture and decay. And next importance is they are ecologically important because of their role in plant succession on bare rocks or soil. So what do you mean by plant succession? It is the process of changes in the species structure in a given area. So these bryophyte members play a very important role in plant succession. Okay, and mosses along with the lichens decompose rocks and making the substratum suitable for the growth of higher plants. That is, during the plant succession, these mosses along with the lichens decompose rocks and making the substratum suitable for the growth of higher plants. And since mosses form dense mats on the soil. They can prevent soil erosion. So these are some of the importance of bryophytes. Once again, I'll repeat. So some members of bryophytes are used as a source of food, and a species of sphagnum moss, it provides peat, which is used as a fuel, and because of the water holding capacity, it is used as a packing material for transshipment of living materials, and they play a very important role in plant succession. And during succession, along with the lichens, they decompose the rocks and making the substratum suitable for the growth of higher plants. And since the mosses form dense mats on the soil, they can prevent soil erosion. So these are about the importance of bryophytes. Thank you.